Federal government to deliver a Kaduna gas pipeline project by first quarter of 2025. More civil servants get houses under the FISH program as government says scheme demonstrates appreciation of their role in national development.
With ease to acquire the properties, become a landlord is a very amazing thing to me.
Food security, development of dams and irrigation projects across the country to receive priority.
That is why we are leaving our comfort zones to come here day in, day out to ensure that what is provided in the contract has been followed strictly.
Plus, Nigerian pilgrims to begin homebound journey Saturday, 22nd June. Good evening and welcome to the Network News on NTA. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Benny Adams is standing by with me in our Abuja studios tonight with business news. Remember, you can watch this broadcast live on YouTube and catch the replay afterwards. Do also follow us across all other social media platforms as well. The 614-kilometer Kaduna-Kano AKK gas pipeline will be completed and ready for operations in the first quarter of 2025, as assured by a federal government delegation which includes the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris. Salihu Gwanara reports.
Mr. President, on the spot assessment of the ongoing AKK gas pipeline project site demonstrates the federal government's determination to ensure the completion of the multi-billion-dollar project inherited from the previous administration.
It's a gas-to-power project. There will be gas for power, there will be gas for industry, even gas for agriculture. This is implementation and execution of Mr. President's strategy to get the Nigerian economy growing again.
Determination of Mr. President to complete ongoing projects. We have this tradition in this country where projects are usually abandoned, especially when there's a change of baton. This is an extreme commitment by Mr. President to ensure that whatever has started that has immense benefit for our people, is completed, and not just completed on record time. And the benefit to Nigerians will of course be seen very shortly. Just recall that when you work on gas, Nigeria is actually not just a petroleum country, it is also a gas country.
We are working towards expanding this project to other parts of the country, so that at the end of this administration, we'll have gas in every state of the Federation.
Custodian of the project group chief executive officer, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, says the $2.8 billion project has received 90% funding.
That there is no engagement I have with the president that he does not mention the delivery of the AKK project, and we're very, very happy that this is happening and we'll deliver it.
We are optimistic that by the time this is finished, with the jobs that will be created and people having a decent standard of living, that the security challenges that we have in Kaduna will go down.
The team assured that the federal government Renewed Hope initiative will harness the nation's natural resources like gas to economic prosperity. In Kaduna, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
And now to Kano State, where the government has directed the police to eject the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, from Nasarawa Palace. Commissioner for Justice Haruna Isa Dederi made this known while briefing newsmen shortly after the Federal High Court verdict on the state emirate tussle. Awal Salisu reports.
Addressing newsmen, the Commissioner for Justice Haruna Isa Dederi disclosed that the state government has acknowledged the ruling by the Federal High Court regarding the Emirate Council's Repeal Law 2024. This, the Commissioner says, confirmed the abolition of the 5 emirates created in 2019 and also affirms the reinstatement of Muhammad Sanusi II as the Emir of Kano. The Commissioner said government is planning to remodel the Nasarawa Palace.
Following this court's ruling, the Kano State government has directed the State Commissioner of Police to remove the deposed emir of the 8 metropolitan local government areas from the government property where he is trespassing, as government has already concluded arrangements for the general reconstruction and renovation of the property, including the demolition and reconstruction of the dilapidated wall fence with immediate effect.
Dederi enjoined people of the state to continue to support government and be law-abiding. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
While the Senate Committee on Police Affairs has resolved to mediate on the controversy between the Nigeria Police Force and the Police Service Commission in relation to the recent annual recruitment of 10,000 constables. In a statement, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Senator Abdulhamid Malamadori, indicates both sides have been invited for a meeting in order to find a practical means of resolving the issue. The committee advises the police force and the PSC to halt claims and counterclaims on media platforms in the interest of the nation. To education now. The House of Representatives is working to improve university education in Nigeria for it to compete favorably with the best global standards. During an oversight to the University of Abuja, the House of Representatives Committee on University Education interfaced with the academic staff and the management of the university, where they resolved to work together in the interest of the system. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
The oversight visit to the university gives an opportunity for the committee to cross-check funds being appropriated and its utilization by the university authority.
We asked you to give us some documents, and we have studied the documents thoroughly. Our consultants are still looking into some of the documents.
Members also applauded the understanding reached between the Academic Staff Union of the University of Abuja and the management in resolving the recent feud that resulted in an industrial action last May.
You agree with me that the university is going through a lot of challenges. I deliberately chose this method of interaction because there are certain things that, if not properly handled, they can go out of the way and will create a lot of unnecessary tension. We are doing our best to see that academic activities are back in this university. We want to make sure we complement whatever government is giving us, and we want to make it as an institution. Even more than that, we are starting the Center for Social Innovation, in which we want to teach philanthropism. We want to train people, and I promise you that we will do our best to meet your expectation.
The committee is expected to oversight other universities across the country. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Onwards together, the Chief of the Naval Staff has dropped anchor at the NAF Conference Center, Abuja, marking World Hydrography Day with a splash. The launch of new charts at the event signals the crucial role of hydrography in turning the tide towards securing Nigeria's territorial waters. A tidal wave of excitement as the Minister of Defense, the Chief of the Naval Staff and key players in the defense industry launch the NG5502 hydrography chart mapping approaches to Lagos. Its launch, along with the National Charting Scheme of Nigeria, indicates a heightened wave towards sufficiency across key sectors of Nigeria's economy.
Mark a significant milestone in Nigerian journey towards maritime excellence. The agency now stands as a beacon, ready to transform Nigerian national economic purchase. Under the visionary leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu,
offering a treasure trove of insights into the Navy's hydrographic exploits, the Chief of the Naval Staff's keynote address illustrates the significance of accurate and reliable data for sustainable management of ocean resources, among other benefits.
The Africa Integrated Maritime Strategy recognized that the eradication of poverty in Africa depends on the ability of African nations to exploit the resources in the marine environment. For us to be able to do that, we must have adequate hydrographic data.
The Naval Chief's remarks underscore the critical need for accurate hydrographic data to inform decision-making, ensure the safety of navigation to enhance global shipping trade, and support the growth of the blue economy. The conference provides a platform for experts to share knowledge, best practices, and innovations in hydrography to address the complex challenges facing the world's oceans. On geoscience, the Petroleum Technology Development Fund, PTDF, is bridging the gap between the old and modern generations by way of training the trainers in practical knowledge. This is the essence of a 3-day knowledge sharing and field workshop for geoscience lecturers in Nigerian universities in the southeast holding in Enugu. Chiegonu Aru reports.
The workshop is a shift from the classroom theoreticals to practical fieldwork, which will expose the lecturers of geoscience to new terrains of teaching, learning, and research. Trainers on the workshop decried the disconnect between the present-day geoscientists and the professionals who handed down the knowledge. The workshop, they hope, will instill into the young academics vital tips in geology that will open a knowledge space which will be handed down to generations of geoscience students in universities in the Southeast Zone. The representative of the Executive Secretary PTDF, Dr. Nika Jacob, said that PTDF intervention in education has brought about massive turnaround of human and material resources in the sector.
The University of Nigeria, Nsukka, has done very well by bringing in young experts who will now become solidified experts in the future in the field of geology.
Resource persons dwelt on practical knowledge, field work preparations, risks and hazards associated with experience.
Brought in experts and very experienced academics and professionals to transfer their skills and knowledge to them through this workshop program.
Participants are hopeful that the Train the Trainers workshop will impact positively in the field of geoscience.
When you take the students to the field to do project work, you find out that at the end of the day, the students, they don't know anything. They can't even tell where they are standing, which rock. So this program has come to bring us to a limelight.
Where you discuss with the rocks, you see some of these structures we learn in class. You see them in the field, real, and you're able to take measurements of these structures. It gives you that confidence.
The Train the Trainers workshop is expected to be a continuous program. In Enugu, Chiegonu Aro, NTA News.
Now, let's go fishing for houses, specifically for civil servants. And the federal government is saying the Integrated Housing Scheme, or FISH, is more than just a collection of buildings, but a practical demonstration of how much the government respects and appreciates civil servants. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Musa Dengiwa, said this during the inauguration of the Fish Estate in Gwagwalada Area Council of Abuja as part of activities marking Civil Service Week. Hamman Jabani was there for NTA News.
It has engraved a mark in my heart that I will never forget this particular head of service.
For government to come out with this initiative, and not just that, make it with ease to acquire the properties, become a landlord, is a very amazing thing to me.
People may look at it as something that is impossible, but here I am with the keys with me. It is very possible.
The 116 housing unit constructed under the Federal Integrated Staff Housing Program in the office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, who stands on 5 hectares of land, is completed within 18 months.
The provision of housing is a big project that requires all hands to be on deck, and I'm happy that the head of service is pushing for civil servants, where it engaged other under ministerial collaboration.
The call for this collaboration is informed by ongoing plans by the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation through the FISH program to deliver another estate of a larger scale in Jiwa FCT.
That the Federal Ministry of Works will always be available at your call whenever it has to do with anything welfare of the civil servants of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
We just profile you, look at your salary, if the salary can be able to pay back the loan within the years that you have in the service, because by law, if you have less than 5 years to retire, we don't normally use to give the loan. You must have 5 years and above.
We know that we are building for civil servants, and civil servant doesn't have much, so they don't have to now come and be spending much money to come and renovate the house again. So our houses are up to standard.
The completion of the housing unit is the end result of a collaborative effort and shared vision of various ministries. While the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development provided the land, Ministries of Works, Water Resources and Power provided the infrastructure. The housing, which will be considered as a model for other FISH projects, is available to staff of core ministries on an interest rate of 3%. Hamad Jabani, NTA News.
We'll take a break now and return with more good news. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. We're talking food security now. And the Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Muhammad Kwaranyu, has reaffirmed President Tinubu's commitment to boosting food production across the country through the development of dams and irrigation projects. This was made known during a visit to the Kwaranyu Dam and Middle Rima Valley Irrigation Project in Sokoto State. Usman Zubairu has more.
This visit marks the fourth of its kind in recent times by the Minister of State and further emphasizes the federal government commitment in completing ongoing water projects and to assess the progress of the work at the two sites. The dam rehabilitation project is aimed at addressing several critical tasks, including engagement closure on the Rima main canal intake, provision of solar power at the dam, headwork, pumping station, as well as quarters and raising the Keita Old Dike. The Minister of State underscored that the functionality of the dam is of primary concern, which is reflective of government stance on accountability.
We must follow the taxpayers' money, the Nigerians' money, to ensure that the money is judiciously utilized. So that is why we are leaving our comfort zones to come here day in, day out to ensure that what is provided in the contract has been followed strictly.
He assured the contractors that more funds will be provided to ensure timely completion of the project. Senior Hydro is currently executing the dam rehabilitation, river draining, and construction of dikes for the trimming project, while Gilmore is executing second phase of the Middle Rima Valley irrigation. The federal government is concerned about the functionality of the dams, which are critical to achieving the food security and creating job opportunities in the region. Usman Zubairu, NTA News.
Lag Up. That's the upskill program launched by Lagos State Government, aimed at fostering innovation and enhancing learning opportunities among youths across the state. Asian Wamaka reports that Lag Up targets 1 million youths who stand to benefit from this stellar initiative.
In today's rapidly advancing world, digital technology is reshaping industries, daily lives, and equipping the youth with right skills, knowledge, and opportunities cannot be underscored. The Lag Up initiative of the Lagos State Government, in collaboration with some strategic partners, according to the Commissioner for Youth, Sports and Development, Lagos State, Mobalaji Ogunlede, seeks to provide employment opportunities among the teeming youth population and improve the economic growth of the state.
This strategic partnership seeks to empower 1 million youth-led SMEs and individuals with digital skills and certifications spanning over 84 marketable technology and creative fields. LAGOP will not only provide training, but also provide a digital platform for SMEs to bolster their sales and growth.
Beyond skills, it will cultivate curiosity, creativity, and resilience.
Collaborative efforts between the government and the private sector are needed to provide business support services to empower youth through innovation.
When youth are employed, it means that all of us have an opportunity to benefit from the multiplier effect of this employment and engagement of the youth.
The Lagos State Upskilling LAGOP initiative is in line with the Themes Plus development agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. In Lagos, S.A. Owamaka, NTA News.
The federal government of Nigeria says claims that Binance executive Tigran Gambarian is being held in unsavory prison conditions in Nigeria or that his health is deteriorating are false and should be ignored. A statement by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, indicates Tigran Gambarian is being held in lawful detention, and has access to quality medical care whenever required. He also has full access to consular services from his home government. The federal government, the statement adds, will not do anything to jeopardize his fundamental rights to lawful trial and to quality care, including health care, even as he undergoes trial by the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The federal government says it will continue to follow due process in its quest to bring Binance to justice as part of Nigeria's dedication to upholding justice and maintaining the integrity of its judicial processes. It's time for business news, and Benny has all the latest. Hello, Benny.
Thank you. Welcome to business. In a bid to support the Central Bank of Nigeria's recapitalization program towards achieving the targeted objectives, the Securities and Exchange Commission has released a framework on Banking Sector Capitalization Program 2024. The framework, which was released on the Commission's website Friday, has at its objectives to serve as a comprehensive guide for banks, holding companies, and market participants to navigate the recapitalization program effectively. It is also to ensure that the capital raising process is conducted efficiently, transparently, and in a manner that protects the interests of all stakeholders, and to serve as a guide to the banks, holding companies, issuers, and capital market operators in filing applications for capital raise, mergers, and acquisitions. Other objectives of the framework are to guide in ensuring full disclosure of material facts in compliance with the Investment and Securities Act 2007, rules and regulations of the Commission. And taking a look at the energy market, crude oil futures were little changed on Friday, but on course to rise for a second week amid signs of improving demand and falling oil and fuel inventories in the U.S., the world's biggest oil consumer. Brent futures for August settlement were down 13 cents to $85.58 a barrel, while the U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures for August delivery were down 10 cents to $81.19. Prices have risen above 5% this month to their highest in more than 7 weeks. And a quick look at the markets. Investors lost 52.42 billion naira as the old share index declined by 0.10%. They closed at 99,743.05%. A total of 617.2 million shares in 9,273 deals, corresponding to a market value of 11.3 billion, were traded. Compared with the previous trading day, today's data shows 53% decline in volume, 55% decline in turnover, but 11% improvement in deals. The current market capitalization is 56.4 trillion naira, And on the aggregate, 125 equities participated in trading, ending with 23 gainers and 26 losers. FBN Holdings recorded the highest volume of traded shares, followed by Guarantee Trust Holding and Veritas Capital Assurance. Well, that is business news. Network news continues, but after this break, do stay with us.
You're just in time for transportation aviation news. Zamfara State Government has awarded a contract for the construction of Gusau International Airport at the cost of 3 billion naira. State Governor Dauda Lawal, supported by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Festus Keyamo, flagged off the project located along Kaura Namoda Road. Haliru Muhammad reports that the project is billed to be completed within 30 months.
Zamfara has been the only state in the northwest region without an airport. The immediate past administration in the state had conceived the idea of having one, where it commenced implementation of the project that was later abandoned. The present administration of Governor Dauda Lawal appears to be committed to changing the narrative with the formal flag off for the full construction of the Gusau International Airport. Governor Dauda Lawal expressed readiness to build an airport with the state-of-the-art facilities that will deliver a high standard of services and safety for all users.
It's a significant step in expanding the frontiers of economic revival of Zamfara State. We are poised to establish our beloved state as a compelling investment destination that will attract investment locally as well as internationally.
The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace, Festus Keyamo, described the project as timely, considering the strategic position of Zamfara State in the northwestern region.
I stand with the Zamfara State to make this a reality.
The airport project involves construction of 3.4-kilometer primary runway suitable for large commercial aircraft, as well as installation of light and navigational aid, among other modern facilities for the comfort of passengers. The project, when fully executed, is expected to open the state to the world for more investment opportunities, social interactions, and tourism, among other numerous benefits. In Gusau, Halir Muhammad, NTA News.
Still on air transport, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has formally unveiled the schedules for the homebound flights for Nigerian pilgrims, which commences 22nd June 2024. This was made known at the Post-Arafat Stakeholders Conference held in Mecca, where the Saudi authorities equally reminded countries' Hajj commissions about timely preparations for the 2025 Hajj season. Correspondent Jamilu Ibrahim reports.
2024 Post-Arafat Stakeholders meeting convened by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria in Mecca is primarily aimed at reviewing this year's Hajj operation in the Holy Land and the way forward. The various committees huddled with the different aspects of the operations made presentations on how they have been able to deliver on the mandate given to them.
Despite all challenges, I must say it has performed wonderfully in some areas.
About 1,382 news materials have been broadcast, published, and posted on all media platforms.
These were the significant events. Pregnancy, we had 2. Miscarriages at the Mashair 2. Conjunctivitis outbreak, we had 48. Diarrheal outbreaks, we had 218, and then mortality, we had 3.
This brings the total number of the Nigerian pilgrims who died in the Holy Land to 13. There were remarks and observations from some other officials and critical stakeholders at the conference. During the meeting, the NAHCON also unveils its schedules for the homebound flights, which begin on 22nd June with pilgrims from Kebbi and Nasarawa states, as well as the FCT Abuja.
So, and inshallah, throughout the operation, the homebound journey, we are going to maintain minimum of 3 flights per day.
That let us take the lessons we learned in 2024, which nearly cost us dearly, to now program ourselves against 2025.
The highlight of the event was the recognition of a Nigerian pilgrim from Jigawa State, Balimawa, who found $800 and some other foreign currency in the Holy Land and handed them over to the officials for appropriate action. Jamilu Ibrahim.
Back home in Nigeria, the Director General of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, says citizens, especially at the community level, have a role to play in the fight against drug abuse and trafficking in Nigeria. This was at a special Jumat prayer at the National Mosque, Abuja, to commemorate World Drug Day, urging parents, community heads, and religious leaders to pay close attention to the attitudes of members of their communities and to detect and report cases of drug abuse and those dealing in illicit substances.
Religious bodies, both Christian and Muslim, in their sermons, in their advocacy, the school system, in the curriculum, drug tests, random drug tests. For instance, we have promoted drug tests for students, tertiary institutions, and drug tests before marriage. When you go for the wedding, bring the HIV, bring the genotype, and bring drug negative. These are some of the steps on this side. On the other side is to deny availability of drugs and access. You have to have drugs first to abuse it, and it's our job as NDLEA to launch operations to seize drugs, arrest the offenders, take them to court, seize their assets as well.
Still on special prayers, praying for the dead in Islam is regarded as highly potent and rewarding, as demonstrated when Islamic scholars and Muslims converged on Shagari Mosque in Area 1, Abuja, to pray for the continued repose of the soul of Mother of the President, Alaja Abibatu Mogaji. Abdullahi Ajia reports that President Bola Tinubu attended the dua and Jumat prayer.
It was a shared solemn moment for Islamic scholars and worshippers who put the first family in special prayer, particularly for the eternal repose of the mother of the president, late Hajia Abibatu Mogaji, who passed on in June 2013. The special dua, which coincided with the Jumat prayer, witnessed high attendance of worshippers, politicians, government functionaries, as well as Islamic scholars, who invoked Allah's benevolent mercy upon the soul of the departed, whose contributions and legacies many extol.
It is a known tradition of Prophet ﷺ where he said that whoever dies, all his actions through which he can attract reward ceases except from three. One of it is when you leave a righteous son who will remember you and pray for you. And this is a righteous son who is today not only praying for his mother, but teaching us as Nigerians that we should please endeavor to pray for our parents.
The whole Quran was recited for Allah's mercy to be upon the deceased. A charity project was launched for the construction of 380 boreholes for humanitarian use as Sadaqatul Jariyah for Hajia Habibatu Mogaji.
As an act that is worthy of emulation and worthy of commendation, because mothers are meant to be cherished and to be celebrated by all of us.
The special dua was organized by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Political Matters and executed by the National Commission for Al-Majri and Out-of-School Children. The presiding Imam, Sheikh Muhammad Sani Abubakar Jos, in his sermon, enjoined worshippers to be conscious of Allah's commandment on trust. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Kemi Nana Namdap, has paid an e-order assessment facility visit in Kongolam, Katsina State at the Nigeria-Niger border. The digital platform is aimed at enhancing the efficiency and transparency of the agency's services. Husseini Suleiman reports.
The Nigerian Immigration Service has introduced an e-border assessment facility, a key milestone in its modernization effort. This digital platform is designed to enhance user experience, facilitate online applications, payment and tracking, and reduce the need for physical visit to NIS offices. While in Congolem border, the Controller General is optimistic about this development, anticipates significant improvement in service delivery, thereby seeking synergy with other sister agencies and border communities toward achieving maximum result.
My impression is a lot needs to be done. There's no doubt about that. We need to still collaborate with the federal government. We need to talk to them. We need to do a lot for securing our borders. We need to deploy technology. We need to deploy more communication gadgets. We have our e-border solution, which is up and running right now. We still need a lot to be done, but it's work in progress. And I know this administration is very favorably disposed to ensuring the borders are safe.
During her visit to Katsina State, she inspected NIS formations in Daura and Meadwa local government areas. The team also paid visit to the former President Muhammadu Buhari at his residence in Daura and the Emir of Daura, Umar Faruk Umar, in his palace. In Daura, Hussein Suleiman, NTA News.
From Daura, we head to China. Nigeria and China are set to improve bilateral trade and investment to mutually drive economic growth. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugga, pointed this out while on official working visit to the People's Republic of China on the invitation of his Chinese counterpart, Wang Yi. A statement from the ministry says Tugga is expected to participate in several high-level meetings, including the inaugural plenary session of the Nigeria-China Intergovernmental Committee in Beijing and the World Economic Forum annual meeting of the new champions in Dalian to solidify the strategic partnership between Nigeria and China. The outcome of these engagements including advancing Nigeria's infrastructural and development drive, improving healthcare and educational systems, job creation and economic diversification, attracting foreign direct investment and promoting entrepreneurship and industrial capabilities and competitiveness. It's time for more messages. Do stay tuned. You're just in time for Global Update. The Republic of Chad has joined the growing group of countries eliminating neglected tropical diseases as Global Climate Summit holds in Vienna in pursuit of a cleaner and safer planet. Kolo Mohammed has more on Global Update.
Austria, one of the largest climate conferences in the world, the Austrian Summit, is the centerpiece of the Schwarzenegger Climate Initiative. The main goal of the summit is to offer a broad platform for concrete solutions and successful ideas that motivate and act as role models, as well as to connect people, businesses, and climate leaders. Former governor of California and actor Arnold Schwarzenegger opened the summit. He is also the founder of the conference. He told attendees that time is fast running out.
Over 200 million people have died from pollution since then. Think about that.
And Japan has reported a spike in cases of a flesh-eating bacteria, streptococcal toxic shock syndrome, STSs, with over 1,000 registered since the start of the year. The most common type is a kind of throat disease, pharyngitis, commonly known as strep throat, which tends to spread to children. Reports say the STSs, with a mortality rate of over 30%, can be fatal within 48 hours. Kolo Mohammed, NTA.
Let's now join our sports desk for updates.
Chukwu Ebuka Enekwechi has won the first gold medal of the African Athletics Championship in Douala, Cameroon, recording a championship record of 21.20 meters to win. He completes a hat-trick of African Championship titles, having won in Asaba and Morocco, and is now tied for the most gold medals by a male shot putter in the history of the championship. In another development, the newly elected board of the Nigeria Association of Sports Medicine have been inaugurated at the conference room of the Nigeria Olympic Committee. The board, led by its president Olajide Adebola, took the oath of office with the pledge
to ensuring that athletes are given adequate medical services during and after various sports events.
We look into a brighter future where every athlete will have access to sports and exercise medicine information that enables to prevent, to promote his or her health.
In football, after much deliberations and discussions, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has announced the official kickoff date for the next African Cup of Nations. The football apex body in the continent held its virtual meeting Friday and announced December 18, 2025 to January 18, 2026 as the time for the competition. Morocco remains the host country for the competition. CAF also announced the postponement of the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations. The competition was earlier slated to hold this year, but the qualifier is yet to be played among interested countries. The tournament will now hold from 5th of July 2025 to the 26th of the same month in Morocco. With sports update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
Let's find out if Saturday will be sunny or stormy.
Glad to have you join us. Generally across the country, you anticipate quiet conditions with some areas experiencing significant weather patterns. Places like Adama and Taraba should expect thunderstorms, while rainfall is expected over parts of Akwa Ibom and Cross River. As we move into the afternoon hours, thunderstorms are expected over parts of Adama, Taraba, Borno, Yobe, Kaduna, and most parts of the central cities. Rainfall is also forecasted across parts of Enugu, Edo, Imo, and the coastal cities. And that's our bit from here. I'm Safia Saynusa. Thank you for watching.
It seems it's going to be a rainy Saturday across the nation. With that, we've come to the end of the news. Thanks for watching. I'm Najaa Tijani on behalf of the production crew. Good night.